Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today in this video I would like to discuss about migration to Medina. As we know, first migration was Makkah to Abyssinia and the second migration was Makkah to Medina. After the Pledge of Uqba, Islam started spreading rapidly in Medina. Almost every house had a new few Muslims. They invited the Prophet ﷺ and his followers to come to Medina, as the kuffar of Makkah had made life unbearable for the Muslims living there. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ now allowed the Muslims to migrate to Medina. In the 13th year of Nabuwwat, many Muslims migrated to Medina. They endangered their life and left behind their property to migrate to Medina. When the kuffar saw this, they suspected that Muslims would attack Makkah with the help of the people of Medina and showed extreme cruelty in an attempt to stop them. They tried their best to stop the Prophet ﷺ from leaving Makkah. At last, Allah instructed Hazrat Muhammad ﷺ to leave Makkah and migrate to Medina. He decided to live with his dear friend and companion Hazrat Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anha. In the meantime, the kuffar made a plan to kill the Prophet ﷺ. Nauzubillah. They selected a man from each tribe to do the job so that the blame of the murder could not be detected. These men surrounded his house and waited for him to come out. But Allah saved the Prophet's life and left reciting Surah Yasin without being seen. But before leaving, he asked Hazrat Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anha to stay behind and return all the belongings that people had deposited with him for safekeeping. It was a sad day for the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam because he loved his homeland, Makkah, very much. By Allah, yours is the best land and the most beloved of Allah. I would never have left if I were not forced out of here, he said while leaving. He and his friend Hazrat Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anha spent 3 days in the cave of Sur, a few miles outside Makkah. In the morning, when people found out that they had gone away, they searched all over for him and even announced a reward of 100 camels for anyone who found him. But Allah protected his Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A spider made a web on the mouth of the cave and some pigeons made a nest there, so no one suspected that there could be anyone inside. Welcome in Medina. In Medina, the news of the Holy Prophet's journey had already reached, and now the Muslims were waiting impatiently for his arrival. When he reached Medina, he was given a heartwarming and joyous welcome. Girls among sang song and welcomed him. People struggled to get a glimpse of him. Every Muslim was eager to have the honor of being his host. Finally, the Prophet ﷺ said, "The house in front of which my camel sits is the house I will stay in." The honor was granted to Hazrat Abu Ayyub Ansari radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Medina, which was first called S.A.W.W, was now named Madinah to Nabi after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Islamic State. The migration of Hijrah of the Muslims to Medina was a very important event. With it began a new chapter in the history of Islam. The Islamic calendar begins from this year. It is the called Hijri calendar. In the peace of Medina, the Prophet ﷺ set about organizing the affairs of the Muslims. In keeping with Allah's laws and guidance, the first Islamic state was set up in Medina, with Hazrat Muhammad ﷺ as its head. First of all, the Holy Prophet ﷺ set about building a masjid in Medina. He himself took part in its construction along with his companions. It was made of mud bricks, wood, and dried branches of date palms. Apart from building a big place to pray and preach, it had rooms for the wives of the Prophet. This masjid is called Masjidun Nabi. This is the end of my lecture. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Jazakallah.